Hey YouTube, what is going on? This is Private First Class Cale Miller answering some questions for you today about the ASVAB test. Biggest question I get from friends is what exactly is the ASVAB? Well, first of all, the ASVAB stands for the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. It is what the Army uses to determine what job or MOS or rate or whatever your branch calls it. It is not an IQ test. Misconception. The Army or the military in general is not trying to figure out how smart you are necessarily. They're simply gauging your ability to learn and retain information. That being said, you are not going to be getting a aerospace engineering job if you're not able to figure out what 12 times 4 is. That simple. First things people always ask, can I use a calculator? No, you cannot. You're in a big room full of computers, you're in a tight, cramped space with a piece of paper and a pencil for math problems that you can solve. No calculators, no cell phones. Make sure you turn your cell phones off or turn your cell phones into the box or leave them up front, because one guy, not directly sitting next to me, but a few seats down, cell phone rang. The Marine who was overseeing us take our test stood up, asked whose cell phone it was. The guy whose cell phone was picked it up, said it was mine. He says, get out, you're not allowed to have cell phones. One reason that is because they do not want you to interrupt with rings. People are very, trying to concentrate, and when a cell phone rings, it breaks concentration. Two, they don't want you to use your cell phone's calculator feature if it has it, or any of the various math apps you can download or whatever. You are not allowed to bring any cheat sheets. Again, you have a piece of paper and a pencil. That's it. Piece of paper, pencil, and your brain. It's all on a computer. You take your test. Your results are instant. It's actually a pretty smooth process. You take the tests. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. And then you got your test instantly. Your results instantly. So that was cool. Let's talk about the main things. There's the ASVAB in general, and then there's the AFQT score. That's the score you really care about. You want to do good, real good, in the main 4 categories. There's math, mathematics knowledge, arithmetic, which is word problems. The farmer went to the city market with 3 pigs, sold 1/3 of his pigs. How many pigs does he have left? Obviously, it's not that easy, but it's that kind of stuff. And then you have some mathematics, and then you have word knowledge. They give you words. The word pedestrian most likely means, and they give you 4 answers to choose from. It's all multiple choice. Every section is multiple choice. And then 4 is paragraph comprehension. You read a paragraph. What was the paragraph? Mostly, what was the main point of the paragraph? Simple enough. As far as scores go, another common question is, what is my lowest score? What do I have to score just to get into the Army, or get into the Air Force, or get into the Navy, or whatever? As far as the Army and Marines are concerned, I believe 31. That gets you some grunt work. That gets you, I think, into infantry, gets you into a lot of the lower end jobs. And if you're cool with lower end jobs, which I was, I scored an 87, and I wanted to do cavalry, but it wasn't available, so I did infantry. They actually didn't want me to. My guidance counselor talked to me for about 30 minutes trying to convince me to do something else, but I wanted to do combat. That's why I joined the Army. It's just my personal thing. So I went infantry. But anyways, that's off topic. So I think it's around 31, around there. But you really want to shoot for, if you're just kind of wanting to get an intermediate job, you don't want to be low end, you don't want to do anything too important, you don't want to do aerospace, anything like that, geo mapping, whatever. Shoot for around the mid-50s. You get mid-50s, that opens up a good 60-70% of the jobs available to you. If you're Air Force, you're going to want to try to go higher, just because you don't, or Navy too. It's just, I don't really know how to say this, but just try your best, man. You don't want to be on a boat stacking sheet metal. Joining the military is going to probably be the biggest decision you've ever made. In your life, don't get stuck on a freighter stacking sheet metal if that's not what you want to do. Don't get stuck in infantry if that's not what you want to do. And that's another thing. If your score is too low for anything to qualify, don't give up. Go study more. Come back and do it again. And even if you do qualify, say you got a 50 and your score requires you to get a 60, you really want to do air traffic control and your scores just don't qualify, you don't sign up, man. Go back and don't be intimidated. Go back and just take the test again. Ask to take the test again. It's that simple. Don't get stuck doing something you don't want to do for 4 years or 3 years or 6 years or however many years you're signing up. The biggest thing I will say that helped me, I'm 21. I've been out of high school for 7 years. I've done some college stuff. I did some mechanic work, and I've also done some electrical and audio engineering stuff. So I've obviously used math before, but a lot of the stuff from high school that I learned, I didn't remember anything. So there's a few things you can do to kind of brush up on some mathematics knowledge, which is what I did, which is what I needed help with. You can take practice tests online. There's 4 practice tests for you to take, full length and just a short version of the test. I recommend taking them all. You can also buy what I bought at any bookstore. I bought the ASVAB for Dummies books. There's 2 versions. There's the one with the full ASVAB test and the AFQT stuff, which is just your math, word comprehension, and the 4 main things I told you about earlier. This has all the stuff, which includes your shop information, your mechanical stuff that you're going to have to take tests on, etc. So this book was $17 at Borders, and you can get a cheaper version for like $12 or $14 with just the ASVAB stuff, but for $4 more I recommend just getting this. This is good. It has the exact same 4 practice tests that are going to be online. The only difference is this breaks down and explains every single answer, why this is the answer. And that's not only for math, but word comprehension too. Say again, use the example pedestrian. What is the word pedestrian most likely means what? That's an example of a test. You might not know what pedestrian means, but you can look at the root. It says ped, you know ped means feet. So you know pedestrian has something to do with your feet. Deduct logically. All questions on the ASVAB are multiple choice. And a big part of what I did was not necessarily not 100% knowing the right answer, but ruling out the ridiculous answers, ruling out the answers you know are incorrect. Therefore, you go from a 25% chance of getting it right down to a 50% chance of getting it right, ruling out 2 answers, etc. Just use deductive logic, man, and you'll be fine. If you're a nervous test taker, like a lot of people are, this is liable to scare you because you have, my experience, there was a Marine in his full, get up at the front of the room, staring us down, and it's liable to make you nervous, man. But just remember, just stay focused and have a good mind, open mind. Just be focused, man. You just got to keep reminding yourself that this is very important. I want to get a job, and I got to score a certain amount. Just keep reminding yourself of that throughout the test. My biggest problem was I get halfway through a section and go, oh my God, this is the worst day of my life ever. Little did I know, MEPS the next day was even worse. But I just had to keep reminding myself, I'm going to the Army, I want to get a good score, I want to get a signing bonus, I want to whatever, whatever your reason was, just keep reminding yourself of why you're here, what you're doing, and you'll be fine. Just keep reminding yourself, if you need to study, just Google ASVAB practice tests. There's 4 tests for you to take, full length and 4 practice. Also pick up, I recommend this book or any ASVAB study book. This one did a good job for me. Not even 20 bucks, it's worth it. So pick it up. Other than that, man, that's pretty much it.